Hi there and welcome to Go on Shaw TV. I'm Christy Pick and today we are out in Redcliff. Now we've all done it. We've driven past a sign that says Redcliff is the greenhouse growing capital of the prairies. But really, do we know what that means? Well, on today's show, we are at Westland Greenhouses Limited and Ralph Van Dam, who's one of the owners, is going to tell us what exactly it's like to be a greenhouse grower and talk about the whole industry that this region has, especially with the Red Hat Co-op. So stay tuned for that and so much more. Let's see what else we have coming up on today's show while I head inside and meet Ralph.
On September 19th, participants will be taking steps towards a cure at the Canadian Cancer Society's Relay for Life in Medicine Hat.
Welcome back to the show. Again, we are out in Redcliff today. We are at Westland Greenhouses Limited. I'm joined by one of the owners, Ralph. And Ralph, I want to talk about the greenhouse industry, how you got into it, and kind of find out how you guys grow these things pretty much year-round. So first of all, how did you get into greenhouse growing?
Well, basically, it's a family thing. My grandparents were involved in the industry somewhat through Holland. They immigrated in the early 50s. My dad and his brother started Westland Greenhouses. Okay. And my dad's brother moved on to grow flowers. And my dad's interest was always in vegetables, so he stuck around. 1961 is when we started as Westland Greenhouses with my dad. And I graduated from high school. He asked me, do you want to be involved in the business? And it seemed like a natural answer. Just went ahead and did it.
So it's you and your brother that run it now?
Yeah, we partnered up. My dad retired pretty well, 100%. He was always there for advice and help, of course, but he truly retired and enjoyed that part of his life. And my brother and I have been doing it for roughly 30 years since.
Okay, right now we're standing in the greenhouse where you grow the cucumbers.
Yes.
They're quite young right now, but you plant them 3 times a year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we plant, cucumbers don't have the endurance to run the full year. They have some issues that come forward that, will bring down production. So we have to change the crop. And we've changed it in June, and then we just did a rotation here at the end of August. And this crop will go right now till the first week of December, where it'll be removed, and then we clean the full building.
Okay, so what else do you grow? I know you have another building as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we grow about 8 or 9 different types of tomatoes. We grow 3 or 4 different kinds of peppers. We grow some eggplant and a bunch of just fun little things. We try different varieties of fruit over there because we have the door sales market here, and yeah, it's quite a mix of things we have going.
Redcliff is known as the greenhouse capital of the prairies. Why is that? Why this region?
Greenhouses were established here mainly because land was cheap. The town was offering, to start new business. Natural gas was very cheap at the time, and there's an abundance of it here. And then, of course, the environment is also a big part of that. And there's a lot of daytime sunshine hours and consistent weather, I guess.
Okay.
So.
In Redcliff, you also have Red Hat Co-op.
Yes.
And so when you're looking at getting product out to the market, you do have your little market here at Westland Fresh Produce, but then Red Hat is a big part of that. So where does that produce go, and who do you guys kind of help feed? Yeah,
well, we send our product across the prairie provinces, so Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta. A little bit goes into BC and some goes south of the border, not too much. It ends up in just about any retail market that you can think of. We want our label to be everywhere. The Red Hat label's been going for quite some time now, and it was a thing where growers had to get together and market their product and package it together. Otherwise, they would all be arriving at the stores trying to sell their product together.
Right.
So it's a great strategy. It's a strong group of growers that kind of work together and have a decent market share in the provinces, in the prairie provinces.
Right now, eating local is huge. and there's a lot of emphasis on going from vine to table or farm to table. Locally, what can people do to ensure that they're getting the freshest product, supporting local producers, and what can they look for, whether it's in the store or at your markets?
I think you got to just be aware, be informed, and that's with anything. Make sure you're buying a local product when you're buying it. You know, like, ask your grocer to provide local or which is local. Look for the local marketing. And then the benefit of the medicinehat community is they have it right at their fingertips. There is a lot of local greenhouses, and they have door sales or little retail outlets that you can just get same day fresh picked produce, which is great. It's once you have it, you probably won't go back.
I agree. It definitely does taste phenomenal. Ralph, I'm going to keep you around because I want to find out a little bit more about the ins and outs of actually greenhouse growing. So do you mind sticking around a little longer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. We have a little more here on Go. Well, welcome back again. We are at Westland Greenhouses out in Redcliff. I'm joined by one of the owners, Ralph Van Dam. And Ralph, you guys have two buildings, one for cucumbers, one for tomatoes. Why is that? Why can't they grow together?
They're two different types of plants with two different types of environments. Okay. So the mechanics of the cucumber crop, we grow 3 crops a year. We have to change the crop, empty the building out. The tomatoes is one solid crop that lasts the whole year, and it has its own set of temperatures and control measures for it.
Okay, I have to say I was a little bit surprised when we walked in here because we started out with the tomatoes, and there are these huge plants, and then come in here and they're very little, but you said that these were just planted, and in about 12 to 14 days you're going to start harvesting them? Yeah,
off the plant. At the flowering stage, we'll be able to pick a cucumber in about 12 to 14 days. These plants were put in less than a week ago.
Okay.
And this entire building was picking last week. We're producing cucumbers for our market and for the Red Hat.
Quite the operation you have here. The thing that actually amazes me is that you go about 11 months of the year. It's not something that you just can do in the summertime. This is not your backyard greenhouse.
No.
So how do you go all year with the temperatures and fluctuations we have in our climate?
Yeah, we have good control measures. We have good boiler systems. The building is filled up in January, first week of January. All our plants arrived, which are, can range from 35-day-old plant to 21-day-old plant.
Okay.
They're started at a propagator in British Columbia. They come into the building, it could be minus 20 outside, and we fill it up and we start growing. We have an alarm system, we have environmental computers, we have everything at our kind of fingertips to make changes and to monitor things well. And sometimes it's not easy in the winter, but it works. It gets an early start so that we can be producing for the market as quick as possible.
Have things really changed in operations or technology since your dad was doing this and you were seeing it as a kid?
Yeah, I mean, you're still growing stuff. We've changed varieties over the years. We've changed growing medias. I got to say, my dad had it a lot harder than we do. They really worked in the soil.
Okay.
We're growing in a grow bag now, which is cocoa fiber. Things are different. Our production levels are higher, thankfully, because our costs are higher.
Right.
So everything changed just like any other business. Some for the better, some maybe not so much for the better, but it's a great business to be a part of.
One of the things I did notice over in the tomato greenhouse is you have these boxes of bees. Tell me about that.
The bees are, they're like a tool, another tool that we use to increase production. So the bees are a species from Ontario. They're put into a box, simply put into a box, shipped to us. We're allowed to use them for 8 weeks. The bees go out and roam the crop, in the tomato crop. They'll tickle the flower or pollinate the flower once, and that'll actually add weight and volume to the tomato. It's a tool to increase production. And they're interesting to watch, and when, they're workers for us. They go out and help us. Before, years back, the job had to be done manually by a person. Okay. So every flower had to be touched with a tool that would shake it.
What do you love about being a greenhouse grower and the industry and the ins and outs in the market and that sort of thing?
What do I love? I mean, I've grown up in it, so it's kind of natural, I guess you'd have to say. I like that I can have my kids, you know, work in here as a summer job. I like the fact that I can have some freedom. I have a great partner that we can trade off in the night and go on holidays and stuff. Yeah, it's rewarding to be able to grow something, talk to some customers of ours that have been coming for years, and just see that they're happy with the produce that we're growing.
I love it. Local, we love local, supporting local. Ralph, I appreciate you being on the show today,
Yeah.
and good luck with your continued growing season here.
Good. Appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. All right, stay tuned. We do have a little more here on Go. Well, that is our show for today. A huge thank you to Ralph from Westland Greenhouses Limited for giving us a tour and an inside look at everything that's happening in the greenhouses here in Redcliff. If you want some more information about their market or anything else, they are on Facebook, Westland Fresh Produce. If you're on Facebook, you can also check us out, ShawTV Medicine Hat. We're also on Twitter at ShawTV. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time here on Go. I'm tripping on vines. Westland from Westland Greenhouses.
This isn't working.